Hey everyone! So we are now going to the elephant sanctuary. It's called Stand Up for Elephants. And we're gonna walk there because it's just a few minutes away from our hotel. So yeah, let's see what's in the Stand Up for Elephant sanctuary.
Hello, hello.
Aww. So cute.
Yeah, I will do it. I give him 5 minutes, I will do.
Is it so they drink like that? Okay.
I think they put water in there, but
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to explain the second part that Michael could have done if they were not back early. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Right now they are drinking, they like the running water. They have water in that tank, but we give them from the hose also, they like it. So as you can see, they fill up the trunk and then they put inside their mouth. An elephant like Eva and Lamo, they can have 6 liters in one trunk. A big male up to 15 liters. So I'm going to start. So few differences between African and Asian elephants. Mainly because of the environment. The environment is different, so you have different adaptation of that animal. Asian elephants smaller in general. African elephants, male and females, they both have big tusks. Asian elephants, females, they have it. It's really small. Eva and Lamo, they have it. It's covered by a piece of skin, but nobody cut it. Sometimes you can see it on female, but still it's really short. And males, they have big ones. The two bumps on top of the head of the Asian elephants, only one dome on top of the African elephants. The ears are also bigger on African elephants, an average of 5 times bigger. We like to say that it's the shape of Africa, and Asian elephants the shape of India. The shape of the back also is different, quite few differences. Let's talk about the trunk, because they are drinking. One of the difference also is that African elephants at the end of the trunk they have 2 small fingers like that, and Asian elephants they have 1. It helps them to take really small stuff. They can unscrew things. They can. They are really agile with it. The trunk of the elephant, so it's the upper lip fused with the nose. And in their trunk alone, they have 40,000 muscles. In our whole body, we only have 600. In the trunk alone, they have 40,000 muscles. So it's really a dangerous nose. When you work with them, they are really fast with it. They use it for everything. They use it to destroy a tree. They use it to carry things. They use it to cuddle. They use it to smell. The sense of smell is 5 times better than the best dog, so they can even smell quantity. The elephant ears. So why those ears? They are really important for elephants because they don't sweat. Elephants, when it's hot, they don't sweat. So first what they do is physically they go to the shade, they put water, they put mud, they put dust, and they stay in the water sometimes for hours, and also they flap their ears. So not to produce wind, but to cool the blood that is coming inside a lot of blood vessels that you have inside the internal face of the ear. And in 20 minutes only the elephant can push all the blood of its body inside those veins, and when they flap their ears, the blood cools down and goes back into the body cooler. That's how they can regulate their temperature. They can drop their full body temperature to 5 degrees. African elephants, bigger ear because it's hotter.
Bigger air conditioners.
It's actually more like a radiator of a car.
Yeah, but it sounds better.
It
air
radiates the
Yeah.
depigmentation, also a difference. So Asian elephants, they have what you call depigmentation. It's the opposite of a freckle. It's normal. It's a little bit like our gray hair as human. So when they are babies, they don't have it. It comes with age, and it's normal on the trunk, around the eyes, on the ear, around the neck. Normally, an elephant, except if they just get out of the water, you don't see it because they are always covered with mud. If you keep your elephant clean like they do in town, it's not good for the elephants. The elephants, they really need to protect their skin against the sun, against the insects, even if sometimes it's really thick, sometimes it's 3 centimeters thick, still it's really sensitive. So actually Lamoshi has a lot, but you don't see it. We don't wash them. They have access to the river in the jungle, they have access to ponds, so they go in the water often. If you have social media, please follow us on social media. We try to put as many videos as possible what they do in the jungle, and they have a lot of fun. So it's important to not clean and brush your elephant every day, especially if the elephant has access to water. Elephant food you did, Michael?
I did.
Alright. Elephant babies. Do you know how long is the gestation?
36 months, no?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. The longest of all the mammals on the planet, of all the animals on the planet. The baby is not that big. On its first day, it's around 50 to 100 kilo, but 100 is already quite fat. The baby will stay with the mother and drink milk for sure for a year. So the breast, the teat is between the 2 front legs, and like human, only 2. You can see Lamoshi already had babies, it's bigger.
Yeah.
And Eva, it's quite flat. And they drink milk here, so they put the trunk on the side and they drink. And they drink for sure for a year, and depending on the mother, like humans, some mother they stop breastfeeding really fast, some they breastfeed really late, and they breastfeed all the other babies of the group. It depends really on the individual. But at some point, if the baby is a male, the baby will leave the herd. Sometimes really fast because they are really independent, but again, it's not from one day to another. It takes time. And sometimes later, like human, they are 30 years old, they are still with their parents, and everything is okay. So it depends. And a baby girl will stay 90% of the time, the whole life, with the group. So Michael told you no natural predator, even a baby, the group will take care of the baby.
I didn't tell them that.
Okay.
Now she told her.
So sleep, elephant sleep, this is photo of Eva and Lamo sleeping. They sleep most of the time on that sand bed. We did it on purpose. It's really important for them to have big slopes. They prefer that when they want to sleep, because even if they don't have natural predator, if they want to stand up fast, because sometimes here, for example, we have a lot of jackals. They come sometimes, smell their feet when they are sleeping.
What is a jackal?
Sorry?
What is a jackal?
Les chacals.
Ah, okay.
And they sometimes they want to stand up fast, so if they can lay down on the floor like flat, but it takes time to stand up.
Stand up.
Yeah, bit difficult. And Eva with her leg, she can only sleep on that kind of slope like that. So they prefer inside or outside, they can choose, but you don't have a lot of study about elephant sleep. And but we watch everything with the CCTV every morning. We watch what happened during the night. Last night I can tell you that Lamo slept 6 hours and Eva 6 hours and 10 minutes. It's an average between 4 hours until 8 hours. Sometimes they are like us. And
Is that the way of resting also when she's like
yes,
her nose is like
yeah.
is that the
It's a way of resting. It's
Yeah.
important for them to have places where they can put the trunk, especially Eva because she has a bad leg. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw, but she has bent one leg. So the head is very heavy, so she needs to give a bit of release to the front leg, you know. So she's like resting the head like that.
To load the pressure.
Exactly.
And
Not
I'm
too much
holding her up.
Michael, of course. Do you know those two animals?
Is that a walrus?
No.
Octopus, I think.
Manatee.
Manatee.
Yeah. Sea cow. Yeah.
Wait, the other one, maybe there's some Israelis.
Ah, yeah.
הקטנצ'יק. בעברית אי אפשר. יש להם
You have it in Israel, yeah.
in En Gedi.
They are like this size.
כן,
שפן סלע.
שפן סלע בדיוק.
What is it?
Yes,
It's the rock hyrax.
that is
Yeah.
correct.
Bunny
You
rock.
can find them in Africa and the Middle East. Those two animals are actually the closest living relative to elephants. They are a bit like the bonobo and the
That's cool.
chimpanzee of our for humans. You have millions of years between them and the common ancestor called Apotheria, and left from that common ancestor are the rock hyrax, manatee or dugong in Australia, some you call it, African elephants and Asian elephants, and we put the mammoth to show you that it's actually closer to Asian elephants than African elephants.
t'as pas expliqué les dents.
Non. Elephant teeth. Inside elephant teeth you have big molars, the size of an adult shoe, 3 to 4 kilos. You have 4, one on each side, and the tusks are also teeth. Okay? Elephants, they have 5 to 7 sets of molar in their life. Not like us, we have our baby teeth and then adult teeth, and that's it. It's always coming from the back, growing very slowly. Sometimes it takes 30 years for a tooth to replace another tooth. But at the end, they're like us, no teeth or bad ones. So they cannot have the same amount of food. Usually they have between 100 to 200 kilo of food per day per elephant. And of course you have a lot of grass, a lot of soft things, especially when it's monsoon. But they can also eat trees, like full trees like that. And for this they need teeth. So that's mostly why elephants, they die, like many mammals, because of the teeth. Of course, when they are like 75 years old, when they are like really old, that's the average life, how do you say, span, yeah, thank you. It's not like a full power when they are like 70 years old, but if you have an old elephant in captivity with good management, you can still chop the food and chop the grass, cook some food and have it live a bit longer. Do you have any questions? Yeah?
Is she pregnant?
So no, she's not pregnant.
Because you
It's
have really like a
Yeah, you're
big
right.
belly, right?
No, so she's not pregnant, she's not fat. What's happening is that elephants, like humans, they have different body shapes.
Okay.
So this is one option. Because they can be tall and thin, they can be a little bit more muscular, they can be more like short and square. But it can also be because maybe she had her first baby when she was too young. they reach the full grown-up size when they are 20, 25 years old, like humans. And but they can have babies earlier, again, like humans. As a girl, you can have your first period when you're like 10 years old. It's not why you should have a baby when you are 10 years old. So imagine when you have like a really big baby, the rib cage can be a bit damaged because of that. No, she's not pregnant.
And how do you introduce the boss?
So it's a good question. Eva was here since almost a year, and you must be sure that they can be friends, especially those elephants because they have zero contact with other elephants most of their life. And even when they are a bit of contact, it's always under human control, so it's not the real life that they can have, let's say. So we bring Lamo. Actually, Lamo was like standing here. Eva was inside, and every day Lamo would come from the hotel, stay 3-4 hours, and we would put a lot of food because actually Lamo was really skinny. She want to pass the photo to each other. Behind also on the other side. She was really skinny, so she was only into food. So like humans, of course, if you are starving, you cannot make friends until like your belly is full. Yeah? So we put a lot of food, and during weeks, Lamo would only come and eat food and zero interest with Eva. But Eva was like really happy, but Lamo was like no. But she was just having food. And only after a couple of weeks, she started to be interested into Eva. And they had they charged a bit behind the bars, but at some point it was quite okay, so we decided to bring them in the jungle with the mouths on the top always, just to be sure. And everything was calm, so after a month, took a month to be sure. But we were actually supposed to have Lamo on the 31st of December, but we took her, beginning of December?
December 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, because she didn't want to leave that place. She would leave with the mouth, and we could hear her making noise the whole way, and Eva also was like not happy. So we convinced the owner to have her a month before, because they were like really close and didn't want to be separated.
So there was one thing that I didn't tell was for Haley that you didn't mention. So elephants, the babies grow, elephant babies grow about 1 kilo a day until they're full grown. But baby blue whales grow 3 to 4 kilos every hour.
What the heck? The whales?
It's just that Haley has a blue whale tattoo. I told her I would mention.
True. Must be pretty good milker, because only on well milk 2 kilos per hour. Crazy.
How long is that birth?
The birth, like to give birth.
Yeah.
Wild animals, it's really fast because nature is the best, you know. And when you give birth, you shouldn't be. Thank you. You shouldn't be slow down. You know, like yeah. If you are in a herd, you should continue to follow. If you are a predator, you should be able to find food quite fast after that. All of that. So elephants are like that too. Normally in half hour is done maximum. Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
Well, after 2 years.
It is quite fast, and the baby must follow also quite fast.
Yeah, must get up and start walking.
Do they sleep with both of the eyes closed?
Yes, you're right. Some animals they don't, yeah, but they do it, yeah, and they are really like humans. And now before. So the way they were before, when they are chained front and back, when they are in the middle of the city, in an environment that is not safe for them, trust me, first it's difficult for them to lay down and to sleep, and sometimes they barely sleep because they don't feel comfortable enough to lay down and it's not safe enough. It was the same here. When Lamo arrived, it took her months to stop waking up at 4 a.m., you know, because she was used to wake up at 4 a.m. her whole life. She's like her 50s. And she And the mouth was like, oh, but we have to wake up earlier. I'm like, no, we're not going to start working at 4 o'clock. And then took her some time. And then they found a rhythm. The first year they were together, Lamu would sleep, Eva would watch and stay like up next to her. And then they will switch. But now I think they feel really comfortable and they just sleep together the same time. And they wake up at the same time. And even we are here in the morning, we arrive between 5:45 and 6. And this morning they slept until 6:50. So during 1 hour we wait near the fire and it was daytime and they were like sleeping like that. Before they would hear us walking or like having a coffee and they would wake up, so now it's good because it shows that they are like relaxed and they don't care. They feel safe enough to sleep even if we are here talking. So it's good. Those are the small signs that because they don't talk, they cannot tell you if they are happy. But at least that those small things that we see, also the eyes, they are much more relaxed. It took them also months to stop being like I don't know if you see the elephants in town, but like small things. When elephants, when the mouth walks next to them, they just like they flinch like that. They know, and like this, they don't do anything anymore. They just like completely relaxed and they don't care.
What about our funding?
Our funding, yeah. So we are an NGO, so we only work with the donation. We have 4 institutional donors, and they cover mostly half of our expenses, and they cover specific things. One is paying for Eva and Lamo's care, food and vet care. One is paying for the manager's salary. One is paying for what we do with the kids. So it covers 50–60% of our yearly expense, and the rest we have a volunteer program. We ask the volunteers to make a donation. It's more like an internship. They only take people already working with animals most of the time. And also, I guess like you who are kind enough to help us like that, we can help more elephants. Because of course, if we receive less money, we only take care of the camp, but when we receive more donation, more money, we continue to help other elephants in town, and that's what we do. Daily we give food, vitamins, all the other elephants in town, we know all of them, and we try to do, she's sneezing, try to do our best.
And what they do until the sleeping, like now?
So now we're gonna do the training in 2 minutes, you will see, and then after they can do whatever they want. Of course they will have food, and what they like to do at some point, they have a big mud pit. So they go in the mud pit and then they climb there, they play with the tires. They can also eat the food in the enclosure, everything is really clean, so they also do that. But yeah, they like to play, and nowadays around 8 p.m. they go to sleep. Yeah. And next day morning around 9 o'clock they go in the jungle.
And will you get any more elephants?
Here, no.
like
Here it's
big
full.
land?
Yeah. But our plan within 2 years, we are saving some money to relocate the sanctuary, because here, so first when we arrived 5 years ago, way less construction. It was way more quiet, and also that jungle was also really quiet. Now since 2 years they have a lot of jeep safaris, so it's more and more difficult for us to find a place to be sure that there is no people to let them completely free. And so we want to relocate the sanctuary, either buy a piece of land or having an agreement with the government inside the jungle. And at that moment, we want more elephants. We don't want to buy more elephants. Those 2 elephants was just to show that it's possible. And what we want to do, because now we are here since many years and we want to put pressure on the authorities to confiscate elephants because they could do it and some are really in need. And to tell them, look, you can just take that elephant from that owner and give it to the NGO, and so that's what we want to do. But here it's full.
Yeah.
More elephants.
Just a question, I guess it relates to rehabilitating.
Yeah.
The photo here, he looks in bad shape.
Yeah.
So can you just...
Our Instagram, we are also on Facebook. Prices are there. So take as many stickers as you want, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Can we put the stickers on the elephant breeding center?
Yeah, please. Oh my God.
Oh, very clever.
We're in France.
It does look
In
like
fact, like your socks. In fact, they're a bit like your kappa socks. Similar going on.
Oh, quite, yeah.
Two
Well, these
ladies
are
back-
2 elephants.